when we talked about what is the vision and national service, I think it does not begin or should not begin at the high school level. I think it needs to go to the primary school level.
Leveraging and launching our creative industries in the country.
That's gotten mixed reviews.
Well, I think what got mixed reviews is not the concept, but the labeling.
What we do today will affect those coming after us.
A controversial video puts new focus on campaign finance reform. Another cabinet minister sounds off on his appearance in the video. The Bimini Fast Ferry cleared to transport passengers. Meantime, the airport closed temporarily due to bad weather, and the National Training Institute opened last night. Good evening, Bahamas. I'm Nakia DeVoe, and this is NV12. Thanks for joining us here at Cable 12 Studios. A renewed focus on campaign finance reform may be on the horizon for this administration after calls were made for more transparency in the process following the release of a video showing cabinet ministers meeting with a wealthy Lyford Key resident. Christina McNeil spoke with Prime Minister Perry Christie last night, who explained it's an issue cabinet is looking into.
That video featuring cabinet ministers meeting with Canadian fashion designer Peter Nygaard is still a cause of concern among some as it raises questions about campaign financing and the integrity of members of government. Prime Minister Perry Christie says the issue of campaign finance reform has resurfaced, but ultimately the decision will be made by cabinet. Last week, the Constitutional Commission delivered a nearly 250-page report outlining recommendations to government. Those recommendations include the creation of laws for the establishment, regulation, and funding of political parties to ensure transparency and accountability. That would fall under the responsibility of the Electoral and Boundaries Commission, another body the Constitutional Commission has recommended be established to replace the Constituencies Commission. Further, the Commission has also recommended a mechanism for MPs to be accountable to their constituents through their conduct and personal integrity. Last night, Prime Minister Christie said he is aware that a call has been made for the resignation of several cabinet ministers, but he defended their integrity, adding that campaign finance reform is something cabinet is taking a closer look at.
With respect to campaign finance reform, they have just recommended that. They've just recommended the Constitutional Commission, and we are now reviewing that, and we will be able to respond in due course as to saying what of their recommendations we agree to. The Cabinet has to agree on whether or not we embark on campaign finance reform, and to what extent do we do so. There's a committee of Parliament appointed. I think they were looking at this, and we have some real difficult situations.
Those difficult situations include the basic cost to run a constituency. Christie says each month MPs receive $1,500 to take care of their constituencies. But after paying electricity bills and salaries, some MPs are left looking to other sources for financing.
So we have to, so therefore you get donations. And so should there be reporting of those donations and a listing of them? These are questions that we will have to answer moving forward.
Christie continued to defend his cabinet ministers, saying he will further address the integrity of his ministers in the House of Assembly tomorrow.
What I'm telling my younger colleagues, I'm telling them to model themselves after me in this sense, that I persevered, that all of the criticisms, all of the critical observations, right, you just keep on working through them. They wanted to meet. Nygaard came to the Bahamas. Nygaard is the largest fashion designer in Canada, the third largest or fourth largest in the United States of America. a major investor here.
For NB12, I'm Christina McNeil.
Well, the gloves are off. Yet another cabinet minister accused of having close ties with Nygaard spoke out today, and he's knocking the opposition. Minister of Agriculture V. Alfred Gray says he sees nothing wrong with his appearance in the video. Jasmine Bonamy has his response in this report.
Minister Gray making no apologies for his appearance in the video. In fact, he said if given the chance, he would do it all over again.
When I appeared in the video, I will appear again if I had to, because I don't do anything that I'm ashamed to do.
In his candid comments, Gray defended what he called Nygaard's generosity and contributions to local events, including his long-standing support of regattas across the country. In fact, Gray says much of his involvement with the fashion mogul revolves around regattas and adds that as far as he knows, Nygaard has done nothing wrong to attract so much bad press.
In this business, Mr. Nygaard is a Bahamian. He is a philanthropist, and I think he has given more to this country than many other Bahamians, including those who criticize him. As a member of the government, I always be careful what I do, where I do it, and what I do. And so I have no regrets having appeared to do what I did.
When asked if he felt Nygaard's relationship with the PLP would impact the government's decision-making policies, Gray insists Nygaard has no influence on the PLP. He also blasted members of the Free National Movement, including former Prime Minister Hubert Ingram.
And Mr. Nygaard has done nothing wrong of which I know, the reason for which I will not associate myself with him. And if they have anything that they know, they should say so and not criticize him simply because he likes the PLP government. If they're honest, they would never say a thing. Hubert Ingram might not associate himself with Mr. Nygaard because Mr. Ingram don't like too many people. I'm not sure he likes himself.
Despite the ongoing criticisms, Gray insists the PLP is not for sale. Reporting for NB12, I'm Jasmine Bonamy.
Well, in other news, after weeks of waiting and failed safety inspections, the Bimini Superfast ferry has been cleared to sail with passengers from the Port of Miami to Bimini. The vessel was supposed to make its inaugural trip late last month to coincide with the opening of the resort's World Casino, but failed U.S. Coast Guard inspections. Last week, the ship met the minimal requirements to sail with a crew, but a malfunction resulted in it not receiving a certificate of clearance to transport passengers. But this afternoon, the U.S. Coast Guard released a statement saying the Bimini Superfast received its initial certificate of compliance on Monday, after all issues in previous inspections were satisfactorily resolved. Now, the statement added that the 32,000-ton vessel passed its inspection of navigational life-saving and firefighting equipment and crew proficiency with emergency procedures. Now, NB12 spoke with Prime Minister Christie last night about the Bimini Superfast and its issues before it was revealed that inspections were passed. Christie commended the Coast Guard for its stringent inspections and said passenger safety should always come first.
And I am applauding them. I'm very happy that they are putting the developers to the test on minute details in terms of inspections, in terms of the cruise ships, because I don't want any incident between Bimini and Florida with that cruise ship. They took the cruise ship to Bimini and had some Bimini on board to see it because they had permission to do that without carrying passengers. I'm told they're down to 1 or 2 tests now, and they've given me a date when they would expect me to come and do the foot trip on the ferry, and I'm keeping that date right now because it's soon. Okay, but I'm excited about it because they have proven themselves to be outstanding contributors to the economy of the Bahamas. They told me they would do certain things. They're doing certain things.
The Prime Minister says the challenge now is for government officials to ensure they don't allow Bimini to go beyond its capacity to absorb the pace of development taking place. The ferry is eventually expected to transport some 400,000 passengers between Florida and Bimini each year. Heavy rainfall today caused the temporary closure of Lynden Pindling International Airport here in New Providence. According to officials at the Nassau Airport Development Company, LPIA was closed at 1:11 p.m. and opened again at 1:37, causing some delays to incoming and outgoing flights. Air traffic control officials ordered the closing of the airport due to a reduction of visibility. Keith Major told our news team that air traffic will not allow airlines to operate in visibility below 1 mile. Now, meteorologists at the Met Office reported 3.8 inches of rain in the past 24 hours, and they expect rainfall to continue into the late evening, with drying expected in the early morning. Severe thunderstorm warnings were discontinued at 6 this evening. Senior Meteorological Officer Neil Armstrong says this type of weather is not unusual for this time of year. Coming up, the National Training Institute opened and the pilot program to begin in a matter of weeks.
Ongoing sessions thereafter will consequently lead to the training development.
But first, repairs to begin on the damaged airport gateway project. Stay with us for those stories.